Hello mấy anh chị, hôm nay em Sandy Nguyễn muốn chia sẻ với các anh chị về pH balance cho cơ thể của mình, và mình nắm lấy cơ hội này để nghe ông Tony Robbins là người billionaire, he's an entrepreneur coach của người Mỹ, và em đi một lần mà em nghe ông chia sẻ, em đam mê ổng và em rất là yêu mến. Ước gì có thể chụp hình với Tony Robbins at least once in my life. So let me share with you a short clips with Tony Robbins explain how important for our body with the pH balance. Okay, let's go.
The power or the gift of alkalinity. For short, we call it Go Green. Go Green, baby. What this program is about is energy. If you're gonna have energy, you have to understand that there's a delicate balance in your body called the acid-alkaline balance. And I'm sure many of you have heard the term pH many times in your life. But usually you might hear it about a hair product or something of that nature, unless you were studying your body a little bit. But just as your body has to regulate its temperature, ideally at what temperature? 98.6, right? Too much variance either way of that, it affects your health, doesn't it? Your natural body temperature going there. You get up to 104, you got some real serious problems. Well, as important as your body temperature is, not the external temperature, but the body temperature that you're able to maintain consistently, there's another number that's equally important, maybe even more, and that is the acid-alkaline balance within your body. The pH balance, as it's called. And there's a scale that measures how acidic to how alkaline any substance or environment is. And that scale's right here in front of you, and you can see that scale goes basically from 0, which is burning holes through something, to 14, which is very alkaline. 7 is neutral. Now, all the different parts of your body have a different need for acid or alkalinity, but the vast majority, and the most important one, the blood, has to be slightly alkaline. Slightly alkaline. Now, that alkalinity is 7.36, and much variance from that, and you got some challenges in your blood. Now, you can measure that directly with tests, but you can also measure your urine, or you can also measure your saliva. They're not as totally accurate as the blood is, but they're things you can easily do. Once you start seeing your pattern, you're gonna know what's going on. And if you're in a position where your blood or your urine, saliva is the least accurate, is moving you into the acid stage, you know that your body is starting to break down. Now, when we say acid pH, when you hear that term, acid pH or alkaline pH, technically all it really means is when you're looking at atoms, you've got neutrons, you've got protons, and you've got electrons. All you gotta know is when it's acid, it's saturated with protons. When it's alkaline, there's lots of electrons, and those electrons have the impact of creating an environment which oxygen can be very rich. They also are that alkaline environment is what makes those red blood cells have a negative charge that makes them bounce off of each other so they don't stick together, so they flow through your body and you get the oxygen that you need. Also, it's very difficult in a highly oxygenated environment, a non-acid environment, for microorganisms to grow in mass. They stay checked, they stay balanced when you're fully oxygenated. But when your bloodstream gets acid, it's like putting out the pollution and wondering why the rats show up. So alkalinity has got to be a major focus, and it's very easy to get yourself to stay alkaline, but you got to think the power of alkaline, and the short term we have for that is go green. If you're overweight, how many of you here have worked out really hard but still can't seem to get those last 10 or 15 pounds or 5 pounds away? How many have had this experience? Raise your hand, say I. A lot of people say, oh, it's my metabolism. Well, that would be true to some extent, but a lot of people work out like crazy, they still don't seem to be getting the result. When your body is extremely acidic, you don't get as much oxygen. When you don't get as much oxygen, everything slows down, including the metabolism, even though you're working out. In addition, as you work out, if you work out hard and you're working out in an anaerobic way, you're building even more what? Who knows? Even more acid. So a lot of people are actually, the body then says, wait a second, we gotta retain more water here to protect it, and we gotta get these acids away from the critical organs of the body, so we're gonna retain fat, put it in the fat until the body has time and has enough energy again where we can push it in the bloodstream and excrete it again. We can get rid of these wastes. So fat actually protects you. A lot of people, by the way, are in much worse shape when they're skinny than when they're fat, when they're toxic, because the people that are overweight very often have more of a buffer to deal with some of those acids. By the way, overweight and underweight are still acid problems. The only difference is when you get very acid, some of you have a genetic tendency that as you get over acid, your system excretes the water rapidly to try to get rid of it. And in that acid environment, these microbes like yeasts grow like crazy and they consume your nutrients. So as a result, you don't get the nutrients, you keep feeding them, and you're in a position where you're saying, why can't I put on any weight? Some of you, your genetic tendency in this environment is to store fat quickly to protect yourself. You have the same acidic environment and the animals inside you, these microorganisms, are eating your sugars as an example. So you still need sugar. You're not assimilating it, so you want to eat more. So you keep eating more and more, never getting the nutrients you need. You're starving for nutrients because you're setting up a population of microorganisms in your body that you're feeding. They got to be cleansed out. And the way to cleanse them out is alkalize. In an alkaline environment, you're going to have rich oxygen, and they will not subsist in that environment. Cancer cells don't even do well in a highly oxygenated environment. They don't live in that.
My first picture ever took with my K8 machines, that I'm the owner of my own machines. Very happy, very blessed. And this is my face without the Kangen water. And you can see that so toxic, so pale, so unhealthy, so unhappy. Everything is not connected. My life is not happy. My life is dysfunctions completely. The second picture show compared to my first one, this one with the Kangen waters. And you see that let the machine show to you itself. Look at my face. No makeup, happy, connected. I'm very blessed with my Kangen water K8. And then I went to the event. I met Mr. Oshiro and I got a picture with him. I'm so blessed he stand next to me and allow me to take a picture with him. This is my baby boy, Chester Nguyen, and his nickname is Kangen. I'm a big fan of these two people in the picture. One is President Trump. Second is Cynthia, sister in Enagic. She's a top women entrepreneur. And why am I showing them? They all has one reason the same. They always talk about God. I don't know why, but you know what? God is good. Here are my lovely family, and I just want to show you. I usually don't like to show my family on social media. Okay? Thank you. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.